Hey boys, so Creative Assembly has released something new here, and we'll jumping straight on it. We'll see what it is.
Oh
Yeah,
my
huh?
god.
Yoo-hoo.
Have you seen that shit? Holy
Let's.
shit.
I already started downloading it, but let's go read first what the blog says about it. The Proving Grounds beta for Total Warhammer 2. Let's see what they say here. We've been relatively quiet about campaign balance lately, as our big focus on delivering faster enter times will undoubtedly have mucked around with any substantial balance changes. Now that's out of the way, we want to tackle some of the longer standing balance problems. However, with the influx of so many new Legend Lords, races, units, mechanics, and more throughout Warhammer 2's life, it's become an absolute hell pit of a nation to keep up everything balanced with each successive content addition. Changing things marginally with each patch would take a long time to manifest as improvements for you, and could easily be undone by the for you, and could be easily undone as improvements, manifest as improvements for you, and it could easily be undone by the next content release. I mean, that's what's been happening every time they at least something, shits explode. It's pretty much been every update, new release, explosion. On the other hand, changing everything at once is way too risky for the live game. So we are trialing something new. We have created an experimental beta called the Proving Grounds, where we tinkered with various aspects of balancing across all the races, safely away from the main game. There will be some extreme changes designed to push the limits of our balance understanding, and maybe we'll find some that players enjoy enough for us to implement in the main game. This beta will run for a limited time while it continues to generate useful feedback. Well, this is the way. This is the way. This is how you do shit. It's already got me very excited. To be crystal clear, we can't guarantee that any of the changes in the Proving Grounds will make it in the main game. Well, it's gonna be like Path of Exile League, just Warhammer 2 style, right, boys? Right. Because in Path of Exile there is these leagues which have different mechanics going on, and then maybe if the gods are merciful, some of these changes actually get into the main game. So it's kind of like Warhammer 2 League, Path of Exile style. This isn't like one of our conventional update betas where everything on the list is ultimately intended to go into the live game. Neither is it a replacement for such update betas. They are an important part of our update process and will continue to happen before future content additions. The Proving Grounds is more of a learning tool to help us improve our balancing approach, a test bed for new ideas that doesn't threaten to upend the live game, an opportunity for players to experience the game in a new light. We are specifically trialing a new campaign difficulty setup to provide different pacing options and more clarity. You can find full details in the notes below. If you want to be a part of this process, you can sign into the Proving Grounds beta and download our latest experimental balance tweaks to your game client. Please do note that it's going to have some dramatic and probably messy impacts on any campaigns you're midway through. Psh, I'm just going to delete all my campaigns, so they're all done anyways. In fact, we recommend you don't continue any campaigns you're currently enjoying, but instead begin a new campaign with your chosen race to experience the changes from the start. You can of course opt out of beta at any time, revert to the current version of the game, and pick up where you left off with your previous saves. Keep in mind, if you opt in, opt out, opt in, opt out, you're gonna definitely get a couple of gray hairs on your head because it takes ages. We keenly want to hear your key feedback, what you like, what you don't, what's too extreme, what's not extreme enough, based on your Proving Grounds gameplay experiences. The more detailed your explanations, the better we can react to them. After gathering enough such feedback, we'll discuss internally how we make best use of the results to make sure that any future changes we implement move the game in the right direction. So guys, if we get loud enough, we might actually change the game in some way. Maybe they actually put some kind of implementation in the game where you actually click and give feedback instead of going on one of the 50 forums where who knows you ever even gonna get any attention. How to get to the Proving Grounds beta? You basically just go to Warhammer 2 in your Steam and Properties betas and put Warhammer 1.8.4, which is currently just installed. How to tell us what you think? Let's see. So we have to go here now. Proving Grounds goals. Experiment with different difficult settings, including game pace modifications. Adjust game pace to align with shorter end turn times, but retain a game pace that allows for frequent activities like recruitment, construction, or combat every turn. Increase impact in recruitment and construction decisions. Reduce the economy scaling into the later stages of the game. Add meaningful and stronger money sinks. Keep campaign AI competitive. Create an environment to possibly remove supply lines. Reduce the strength of Swift's expansion, streamline fictional differences in economy and more clearly define faction uniqueness, return public order to be generally more meaningful, return growth to be generally more meaningful, push late game units later into the game naturally for both AI and player, aim for the more varied playthroughs and different late game challenges emerging naturally, avoid hard restriction, end world hunger, end world peace, make world peace, and find the cure for coronavirus. God damn, they think they're gonna do miracles here? What the hell? Difficulty structure changes. Experimental difficulty changes affect not only challenge but also game speed. Naming and function change for difficulty levels. Please note these are not localized, they will only show up in English game versions. Easy difficulty becomes new to Total War. Normal difficulty becomes fast, a faster paced Total War with cheaper recruitment and construction. Hard difficulty becomes standard, a slower paced Total War with more expensive recruitment and construction. Very hard difficulty becomes veteran, a slower paced Total War with more expensive recruitment and construction, increased AI buffs. Legendary difficulty remains legendary, a slower paced Total War with more expensive recruitment and construction, increased AI buffs, no quick save, and battle realism. Battle difficulty remains the same, even though the names changed. Reduced public order penalties for player at lower difficulty levels. Reduced public order penalties based on hostile corruption at lower difficulty levels. Adjustment to the recruitment, reconstruction, and other bonuses for AI and player based on difficulty. Modify starting treasure on lower difficulties. Increase background income for all major factions, including player on lower difficulties. Reduce background income for all minor factions on lower difficulties. All lords get additional experience based on difficulty. It almost looks like they somebody there is getting balls to make a game overhaul, like one of those big mods. General changes. Remove supply lines. Additional up for all armies. The more armies the player has. Remove building conversion on occupation. Automatic conversion of buildings of a different race. Income streamlined and adjusted. Added and adjusted resource buildings for all races to grant money. Adjusted direct income from buildings for all races. Reduced economy scaling in later stages of the game. Growth rebalance. Remove increasing growth on main settlement chain. Reduced and adjusted growth on growth buildings. Public order rebalance. Removed public order on main settlement chain. Adjusted public order on buildings. Building cost adjustments. Low level buildings are cheaper, green building category. High level buildings and main settlement chains more expensive. Exception, greenskin construction cost reduced. Greenskin construction cost reduced. What was I yapping about in my greenskin video? Make greenskin stand out, have them the cheapest buildings of all factions. Unit recruitment cost doubled. Upkeep of lords and heroes adjusted to match their strength and their mount option. Slave economy rebalance. Goes quicker, drops faster. Dark Elf slave capacity settlements reduced. Dark Elf slave public order penalty reduced. Adjusted direct income from slaves. Removed most slave percentage modifiers. Reduced slave decline reduction effects. Chaos and Beastman unit upkeep reduced. Lisbon Islam buildings only available in major settlement. Well, no shit. So we give get that other building becomes more relevant. The annex building and skin chip slots as well. That's a good change. Post-battle loot reduced, second income reduced, trade commodity value halved. Huh. They even touched the trade. Maybe they fixed those bugs that were introduced with trade. Base rogue army spawn rate reduced, clan Ang Belgar initial upkeep penalty reduced. Nakai start setup adjusted. Ooh, even Nakai was adjusted, huh? Campaign AI changes. Building adjustments to accommodate the above changes. Mouse AI will convert less quickly and stay independent. Offer to join war will not happen as often. No more, boys. No more. The Karahirn will invite Lothern to war against you when playing Orion Kappa. This is just, temporary changes. Most of these things we'll never see it in the main game. Depending how loud the loud people get, we might actually see some of these things in the main game. Yeah, it doesn't remember diplomatic events as long as it used to. Reduce Greenskin over aggressiveness. Vampires now more aggressive. General diplomatic hostility towards Greenskins reduced. Skaven AI unit recruitment improved. AI further reduced focus on bad climate regions. AI further reduced focus on bad climate regions. Some AI factions focus more on their home territory. Dwarves, Mountains, Empire, Provinces, High Elves, Ultron. Like half of this shit just put in the main game. You don't even need to test it, man. What the hell? Auto-resolver bonus against non-playable factions increased for Greenskins, Dark Elves, Skaven, and Vampires. Hallelujah! Praise Sigmar! The auto-resolver subsystem ensuring unit losses have been disabled. Units are now generally less likely to be killed in auto-resolve battles. Keep in mind, guys, this is not a patch for the game. This is a beta for an experimental version of the game, which all these things are already in effect. And depending on how people, what people take from this, and the feedback given, we might actually see some of these things in the main game. Already, I have to tell you guys, half of these things should already be in the main game. Half of these things. Campaign difficulty levels in detail. We can actually see shit. Look at this. We haven't seen these shits in Rome 2. Start at the enter level total war. So a player gets public order +2, public order crouch penalty -3%, upkeep -20%, recruitment cost -4%, construction cost -4%, additional load replenishment 30%. Now everybody can play on easy. Look at that. 40% cheaper construction costs, 20% lower upkeep. Damn. Now we can win Crooked Moon campaigns. AI gets no growth bonus, 2% replenishment bonus, 5% additional load replenishment, 20% cheaper recruitment cost, construction cost. Doesn't say if this is total slots they get or bonus slots. It does look like total slots. After all, it's the starter difficulty. So the AI has limited recruitment, so the player doesn't get overwhelmed. Fast, a faster paced total war. Player gets 25% public order corruption penalty, less cheaper recruitment, construction, and additional replenishment 20%. So the other things like public order and upkeep are removed. The AI gets 20 growth, 5% replenishment, 10% additional load replenishment. Recruitment costs 50% cheaper. Construction costs 50% cheaper. They even get load XP gain 25. 25 per turn. It's kinda not clear if this is plus or this is kept at 3 or this is kept at 25 or plus 25%. But this is a good thing, even if it's a small amount. Some of these things actually existed, but you didn't actually see them like this before. So this is normal difficulty. So the player only gets additional load replenishment 5%. The AI gets 20 growth, 5 additional replenishment, 10 additional load replenishment, cheaper construction, and recruitment cost 40%. 3 global and local recruitment slots. So I guess they get additional 3. Units get 100 experience per turn, lords get 25 experience per turn. I guess standard is supposed to be hard. Fast is supposed to be normal, and this is supposed to be easy. I don't know, if is there a very easy difficulty in this game? Hold on, let me just start this. It's easy, normal, hard, very hard, legendary. I don't think this game has very easy. So, starter is easy, fast is normal, standard is hard, veteran is very hard, and legendary is legendary. We are disabling the chaos, extra chaos for a while. Let's go see what the game says about these things. Veteran, so that's very hard. 10% more upkeep for the player. Additional roll replenishment 5%. The lords do replenish faster than the regular unit, so this was always a thing. The AI gets additional 50 growth, 10 replenishment, 20 additional roll replenishment, 80% cheaper recruitment cost, 5 additional global recruitment, and 3 additional local recruitment, 200 experience per turn, and 50 lower experience gain per turn. And on legendary, it's the same for the player, and the AI gets the same as very hard, but double experience for the units, and which it used to be 500 per turn, now it's 400. They lowered it by 20%. What did we say, guys, about free experience per turn? Lowered by 20%. So 20% less.
I am Tyrion.
Hold on, Tyrion. Just delete all these campaigns. We are in science mode now, boys.
We must preserve this world.
Okay. Neutral war. Okay, they actually give you an info here. Okay. Caveats and potential problems. May contain setup errors, general copy pasta errors, or miscontent. That's pretty much every update for these guys. Battle difficulty remains unchanged even though campaign difficulty has changed. Okay. Difficulty naming change, not localized and will not affect achievements. Scripted army sequence battles balance not updated. Low quality army spam is potential side effect. Bring more bodies. Dark Elf slave economy may be too erratic. Tomb King performance unknown as they remain largely untouched. Okay. We are not starting a new campaign, boys, but we are starting a new campaign, boys. But we want to see, you know, we're doing science here. We're doing science. We're doing science. Let me just restart the stream so that the other video is separate with the info stuff. Just give me guys a few minutes.